Today's professional development is going to be on youth suicide, awareness, prevention, and action for our staff members that work with high school students. Based on the personal development responses I sent out last week in my survey and the weighing data that I got, it appeared a concern of the staff was youth suicide was our biggest concern for our school. In this personal development, we will address the growing issue, especially in the age of lockdowns and online education. The staff shared their concerns about youth suicide and felt our school needs to prepare teachers for their growing issue. Professional development survey bar, and here you will see the survey, and that's how I knew what I needed to base my data on. This was an obvious choice the staff wanted training on, and it was important that we educate our staff so we know, especially myself, how we going to handle this situation when students we realize they have an issue, that there's suicide underlying conditions. Professional development survey data is here. Raw data from the survey of 9 replies. In the real world, you also will not get 100% of the survey reply. So I sent out 10 and I only got back 9 replies. And I understand it was the beginning of the school year. We are overwhelmed with new technology and new ideas, but I really appreciate all the staff that was involved in this survey. Introduction to our professional development. Teens have many new challenges on a daily basis, especially as they transition into adulthood and all the stress associated with the next step in life. These result in second leading cause of death for ages 15 to 24 is the group of suicide. So we are employees of our district and work in the high school environment, it is imperative that we educate ourselves that this is a big growing issue in our society. Background: teens are faced with isolation from family and friends over the past 18 months. This is the period where social skills have learned and groom our teens to be in the next generation of adult, continuing to our society in such a time of uncertainty. Without this extra pressure, teens already have a difficult time expressing how they feel. It is important that teachers build relationship with their students, and this will help students open up to staff and express when they are having a difficult time. I had a situation recently where my student was feeling overwhelmed and stuff that was going on at home, and the parent was coming back from jail, and I have built a relationship with her the last 6 months, so she was more open to let me know what was going on. I was able to get the help she needed to support her. Background, continue. This added stress that causes teens to increase of occurrence of anxiety and depressions. Teens silently try to cope with these issues and challenges. However, the elevated challenge leaves them so overwhelmed they do not know how to reach out for help they need. This can drive teens to suicide as an only option. At our school, we can ask for support from our marriage family therapists, and they know they're not alone. They've been getting emails, parent link as well, so that there is support. There's 800 numbers. So it's really awesome, because when I was going to school, we didn't have this technology and support system. What can the staff do? So here is what we can do as a staff. Knowing about teen suicide allows staff to see the warning signs, even though they can often be hidden or not present in the classroom. Staff members can help by identifying and responding to suicide behaviors among our students. We will cover knowing the warning signs and how to take the next step. It is important that teachers are given training to know the warning signs of suicide. So, warning signs. 80% of people give warning signs and speak to trusted friends or adults about their feelings or intention. If a student mentions suicide, please make sure to follow school or district policies. And if you do not know what to do, always call the administration and they will help you. We will go over the school and district policies so teachers know what to do in case you have this challenge in your classroom. Suicidal behaviors. Suicide behavior can consist of thoughts, wishing for an end to pain, and finding a way to plan their actions. Behaviors can transition into action, usually erratic and harmful behavior or actions. Also, to the contrary, an nihilistic attitude of usually positive student. In class of 30 students, 6 students will be in danger of suicide. Of those 6, 90% have considered or attempted suicide. And I know most of the population of teachers in this professional development have 30 plus students. So that to me was a awareness that we need to be aware of. So being aware of your classroom in the class of 30 students, that 6 students will be in danger of suicide. Many of our teachers were not even aware of this. And that's including myself. It was a big eye-opener for myself. So, societal behavior and statistics. The CDC states that for every 1 youth of suicide, there are 25 suicide attempts. 4 out of 5 adolescents who attempt suicide do give warning signs. I encourage you folks to refer to the reference for the complete study and data on this issue. Suicide warning sign. Number 1, actual threats made to staff or students. Number 2, creating a will or making final arrangements. Number 3, giving away prized possessions. Number 4, radical changes in behavior. Number 5, changes in physical appearance, dress, or grooming. The list is long, but an event of suicide from a student, you will know to call for help. The school printed suicide prevention 800 number for students is in back of their ID cards. This is the first year that I observed this because it is a growing issue that we need to be aware of, staff. Number 6, morbid speaking, frequently mentioning death or suicide. Number 7 is loss of interest or on previous enjoy activities. Number 8, obvious depression. Number 9, beginning or increasing use of alcohol and or controlled substance. Number 10, tell someone about or making evidence of suicidal thoughts in their classwork or social media. The other thing I did see the other day is a student's drawing, and drawings can tell us a lot about what the student is going through and can be also a suicide prevention that we as teachers can be aware. Suicidal risk factors. Number 1, arguments with parents or guardians. Number 2, loss of relationship / breakup. Number 3, bullying, related suicide with the students with learning disabilities, physical disabilities, or sexual orientation. LGBTQ students are at higher risk if they do not know their sexual gender, twice as much at risk to attempt suicide. Number 4, mental illness. And number 5, isolation. And then number 6 is easy access to weapons or drugs. Number 7, changes in personal conduct or hanging out with the wrong crowd. Number 8, death in another family emergency. Number 9, family history of mental illness or suicide. Number 10, inability to problem solve due to mental disabilities. So it is important as we come to this professional development today, be aware of these issues so we can help our students. So for example, especially our students that have disabilities and we don't know that, we do know they have a disability and they're having issues, we are able to know that they're not able to process what they're going through. And maybe we can be that trusted adult. They can come to us and help us. Suicide prevention tools. And number 1, social media used to find early warning signs. Number 2, the national prevention number, free and confidential. Number 3, BARC system. And it's resources for us to see the prevention. Taking action. If a student is threatening suicide, number 1, please do not leave them alone. Number 2, call for staff support. Number 3, remove access to anything that can cause harm. Number 4, notify the administration. Number 5, notify a parent or caregiver. Number 6, document all actions taken in process. This is a very important step to take in case you are dealing with a student that is threatening suicide. And here are the reference for my presentation. Thank you so much for being here today, and I will share a copy of this presentation.